It's time to venture into the Filmverse, a movie fan podcast where we dive into the vast expanses of cinema and report our findings. I'm Mytchel Chandler.
And I'm Bryce Payne.
And today on the 12th episode of Into the Filmverse, we will be discussing the Christmas movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Oscar Best Picture winners From Here to Eternity and On the Waterfront, and various content we watched throughout the week. Be sure to join us on Letterboxd, the social network film lovers. You can find Bryce Payne at
Payne Reviews, Payne Reviews.
And me, Mytchel Chandler, at Mytch Reviews. Mytch is spelled with Y, it's Mytch. Before we dive into our weekly movie watches, we're going to go into the movie news, the segment of our show where we discuss the breaking stories in the world of cinema. But guess what? There are no stories this week. There hasn't been a whole lot of movie news to report, but as always, we're going to talk about the Mandalorian newest episode. This week was titled The Jedi, and that was Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 5.
Which I actually watched yesterday, so look at that. I took me a little bit, but I got there.
But you got there, exactly. We can talk about it. So if you do not want to know any spoilers for the newest episode of The Mandalorian, I guess the previous week's episode of The Mandalorian, Episode 5, then please skip ahead 5 minutes starting now. Grogu!
Dude, I was so...
Grogu!
When you first told me you didn't really like the way the lightsabers looked in this episode, I was like, yeah, maybe. And I was watching it, I was like, I like it. Oh, it's good.
Well, that's fair. That's fair that you liked it. I just don't like the white lightsabers. I don't like the white lightsabers. I get what they symbolize,
I don't know. It's like, it's unique. I'm okay with it.
It is. I don't think I've ever been a fan of it. It just seems too bland.
Okay, so we just started this off like that. Okay, so Ahsoka Tano has made her live-action appearance.
Sure, right, exactly.
For the first time, and
Rosario Dawson.
I'm not a huge fan of Rosario Dawson, not because she's a bad actress, but because I'm like, what's the word?
Just over.
Not even over. I'm just like, she was in everything I watched for like 3 months straight, and I got burned out. I was like, I don't want to see her anymore.
Right, those Netflix Defender shows that you just saw her in it constantly in.
Dude, I'd watch an episode and I'd be like, all right, Iron Fist. It's like, why the fuck is she here?
What purpose does she serve? She's just the Nick Fury of the Defenders.
I hated it. But anyway, she's really good as Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I know I've seen more of the Clone Wars than you and stuff, but I was like, yeah, she embodies Ahsoka. It's awesome.
Yeah, but I've watched a little bit of Clone Wars, not that much, but I have seen the Ahsoka character in action, and she seemed like she did a good job. I mean, I don't know how much more than.
Did you have a problem with some of these special effects that she was doing, like her Force stuff and running off walls?
Oh, I didn't really blame it too much because to me it seemed like she was super weak, but I figured that was just because it was a TV show and that they didn't want to they couldn't do as much show as they wanted to, I guess.
There was the stuff where she Force jumped over the tree to hang Mando. I was like, that looks really, really bad.
But I love the fact that she could talk to Baby Yoda, a.k.a. the Asset, a.k.a. the child, a.k.a. she gave his name, Grogu.
We'll see how long that lasts. Everyone's just going to keep calling him Baby Yoda.
No, of course, I even call him Baby Yoda, and I think that's fine. Obviously, that's what people are going to keep calling him. But I love the name, though. A lot of people don't, but I think it's cute. I mean, it's different than the thing they do with Yoda and Yaddle. They actually did something different.
A lot of people are mad about Yaddle right now. Because Ahsoka only mentions Yoda, and it's like,
yeah, she only mentions that she did
Yaddle was in Phantom Menace, bro. Ahsoka was 4. Because she's 14 in the Clone Wars, so she was fucking 2 to 4. And
she should have known.
Menace.
I mean, she technically should have known her, but whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it's whatever. I do like the fact that I saw this video where someone's like, so you're telling me the entire premise of The Mandalorian is that Anakin missed one?
Oof. Oof. Yep, I mean, that's true, but damn.
I was like,
damn, Annie.
Oh shit, yeah. All right. There's a bunch of things where Anakin's sending Grogu text messages hey, don't come to the Jedi Temple tomorrow.
Anakin, hey, you're pretty cute. Don't come to the Jedi Temple tomorrow. He's like, I.
So with the ending, with Mando trying to get Ahsoka to train Grogu, and her being like, nah, fam, I'm good.
Yeah, and she's like, go to this temple and maybe somebody will show up.
Do you think a Jedi's going to show up?
I mean, yeah, there has to be. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, she says that Grogu has to call. Do you think Grogu's going to be like, yeah, peace, Mando, I'm going to go get trained to be a Jedi?
No, here's the thing. I think he will call. I think somebody will show up, but I don't think. I think when this is all said and done, Baby Yoda or Grogu and Mando are going to be stuck together. They're not separated.
There's no fucking way. The whole point of the show is them together. I love it. Right. It's their bond that makes the show.
Exactly.
But who do you think the Jedi will be if he shows up?
Well, there's a lot
of Windu. A lot of people are saying
there's a lot of speculation just across the board. I don't think Mace Windu as much as I think I would love that. What I really think, and what was more practical to me, just following the rest of these episodes is Ezra Bridger.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, it could go two ways for me. It'd be Ezra, who's the most likely one because obviously he's connecting to Rebels.
Right, which is
or it could be
Bo-Katan and then Ahsoka, and then you would go to
it could be Ezra, who I think is the most likely. It could be Cal Kestis from Fallen Order. I don't think that's going to happen because it's a video game, right? Like they're not going to spoil what happens in the sequels or whatever just to have a TV show.
Right.
But it could also be Luke Skywalker because this is after Endor.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
I hope it's not. I really hope it's not. Like they don't even
have permission yet. They're trying to. People are trying to get like Sebastian Stan. Like they're saying he looks like Mark Hamill. It's like, well, obviously he's not going to be in the show then because what
I really hope they do. This is what 30 seconds left. I hope they do an unknown Jedi, somebody we've never seen before.
Yes.
That would be something that I want to see because the whole point of the Mandalorian is expanding the universe, adding characters we haven't seen before, and that would be a super awesome thing if they did.
Now, Beskar armor with lightsabers. He got a spear, obviously. 10 seconds left. He got a spear. The guy who plays Grand Moff Gideon has teased lightsaber action. Mando and Gideon are going to go head-to-head.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I'm so hyped.
And Thrawn. What about Thrawn, right? Boom.
So
name drop.
And that's it.
And that's it, guys. Well, thank you for joining us as we discussed Mandalorian Season 2,
I didn't feel like enough time. I'm like, I still had more, but we can't.
Exactly. So
I could talk about that episode for like an hour straight.
No, me too. That was a really good episode. It was just a lot of fun. Like I said, we don't have a whole lot of, or there wasn't really any other movie news that dropped. Movie theaters are closed down again where we are here in the.
Yeah, because people stuck to wear a mask.
Yeah. So please wear your mask and just let's get this thing over with so we can go back to the theaters. Well, with the lack of movie news out of the way, let's move on to our Oscar movie night. Each week, we rotate between older and newer Oscar Best Picture winners. This week, we watched the 1954 and the 1955 films From Here to Eternity and On the Waterfront. So, Bryce, I'm going to let you explain some of these films because obviously I'm not too cultured when it comes to older films. And I'm going to let you start off with From Here to Eternity and just explain what it was about a little bit.
Okay, well, I'm going to say this first. We had a very small group this week for our movie night.
Sure, usually we only do one a week, but this week we just kind of like decided to power through two.
There's literally because we hosted them in my place, so we were sitting there and there's only like me, Mytchel, and our friend Skylar, and I was like, "Fuck it, we're gonna double feature. Let's go,
let's do it."
And so we watched From Here to Eternity, which we were supposed to watch last week, but we kind of weren't feeling it. Sorry, a little something in my throat. And this movie is boring as shit.
Yeah, besides we'll cover this next movie too, but both movies really didn't pick up to the last 30 minutes.
Okay, so
actually, From Here to Eternity didn't even pick up to the last 5 minutes, really.
Last 10, yeah,
last 10.
Yeah, it was crazy. Okay, so From Here to Eternity is about a boxer. God, I can't even remember his name. I know his last name is Robert E. Lee. Like he's named after Robert E. Lee.
Oh, right.
Which I was like, oof, that hasn't aged well at all.
Just to sum this up, just because there doesn't want to happen, but besides that, Pearl Harbor happens at the end.
Yeah, but it's he's basically like a middleweight boxer in the military of Hawaii, and they make a big deal of it's 1951 or 1941. We're like, all right, so Pearl Harbor's gonna happen. That's gonna be a big point of this movie. We spent the entire goddamn movie waiting for Pearl Harbor because I was like, it's a military movie, of course, dude. There was no fucking reason to have this movie based in the military.
Yeah, I know.
Other than the ending, I guess, but otherwise it's the whole thing is based around boxing. They don't do any boxing in the whole movie. There's a couple fights, but there's no boxing match. There's no big deal with the boxing. They just bring it up all the fucking time.
This is one of my issues with older movies, and it's just that they have a whole lot of nothing going on for the most part.
Yeah, dude, I was like, I don't really fucking care about your guys going out and partying every fucking other month.
Well, not that,
care.
But even the specific scenes where they're marching, you're just in the army marching, and you'll spend 3 minutes just seeing them marching and army dude or yelling at them to march, and something I get it because they didn't have the technology to do certain things back then. However, today that would be 30 seconds, if that, and you get the point.
I've seen. Okay, I watched a lot of older films, and there's normally I feel like it's a good movie. A lot of shit can happen in an hour and a half.
Right, I agree.
This is an hour and 47 minutes, and nothing fucking happens till the hour and 30-minute mark. We checked. I was sitting there, I was man, how much longer is left of this film? Because Pearl Harbor is supposed to happen, right? They made a big deal, but it's December. It's December 1st, and we're oh shit, so what's gonna happen? How much time is left of the film? 10 fucking minutes.
There's supposed to be some romantic plot going on. I really
Yeah, and it was
know.
like I don't really care about the dude falling in love with the waitress. Like I don't. I think she's a waitress. She might have been working. It's not like really a brothel, but it kind of is a brothel.
Right.
Like
A whole lot of
they
like,
don't name drop it like it's a whorehouse, but it's essentially a whorehouse. Like,
wow.
they're like,
Wars of
yeah, you know the
house.
girl's got to be nice to the guys. It's like,
Right,
oh,
yeah, hold on.
we have a special area upstairs for certain customers. I'm like, wow,
She's like,
all
but
right.
he's like, I can only come in here this time. And she's like, but I gotta work. And he's like, but me. And she's like, but I gotta work. And
She's
he's
like,
like,
I got a
but
job,
me.
boy. I don't get to just like stop in the middle of the night for you.
All right, and but she does, but still.
But the Pearl Harbor scene was really cool. They used actual war footage because obviously this is like
That was a little creepy.
10
honestly.
years. And it was like the quality dropped so much when they brought it to that war footage. They're like bombs and stuff. And I was like, you could tell it was older
Well, you can
footage.
tell, but at the same time, it was cool to see that integrated into the
But
film.
it doesn't really go anywhere with the war footage. Like
No.
Pearl Harbor happens, the
Doesn't
movie ends.
Yeah, just like it happens, like it ends in the middle of it. I don't even. All right, it's just not.
They don't even like. There's no aftermath. There's no like. Now we go to war or some like climatic scene. It's just like, and we're done.
And we're done.
And then we were like, all right, well that was kind of disappointing. You know.
We were gonna try to switch to the newer one, but then we were like, maybe we
Yeah,
should just wait.
because our next newer one is 12 years of slave.
Yep, 12 years of slave.
12 years. I was like 12 years of being a slave. 12.
12 years of slave. Which actually, I had a person at work tell me about that, and it sounds really, really
Yeah, I've
interesting.
seen some clips. I was like, wow. But we decided not to. We were like, you know what? We're gonna get some of the older films out of the way because a lot of our friends don't really watch.
Enjoy those ones.
Yeah, like no one shows up for older films.
Right.
But,
Understandably, but
it started off strong when we were
on the
watching
waterfront
like.
did.
So I was forcing them like, we're watching Wings today. 2.5 hours silent film. Let's go. And everyone's like, oh. They were still there, but now it's like, no.
Even this movie on the waterfront, I mean, it's fine. Negative most the movies in general starting out strong, but on the waterfront, I actually enjoyed the first few minutes of it, and then it just kind of like
Yeah, it was like it started off and you were like, ooh, gangsters. All right,
Yeah,
let's
it was
go. And
gangsters,
it was
and then-
like you're just gonna walk around and bitch about the whole thing the whole time.
yeah, that's what it seemed like. And then I was like, all right, I'm too bored, and I left when there's like 30 minins left, which apparently that's what I picked up.
Yeah, this is so bad because you left and then like as soon as you left, the brother dies. Spoilers. I mean, it's almost fucking 70 years old. I really don't care. But yeah, the brother dies. He gets found like hanged in an alley by a hook, and so like the guy goes in to kill Johnny at the bar, right? And the guy, like the priest comes in and goes, "You can hurt Johnny where it really hurts in court." And I'm like, all right, court scenes. Court scenes aren't bad. I enjoy court scenes. Why not? They go to court, and in the middle of court, the guy gets up to go like testify, and he's like, yeah, this happened. Johnny killed him. Yeah. And Johnny gets up in the middle of a courtroom full of lawyers and shit. It's like, I'll fucking end you. I'll ruin your life. You regret this. You'll never step on the waterfront again. And I was like, oh,
There's
shit.
on the waterfront.
And I was like, okay, Johnny's pissed. Makes sense. Cool. And then, like, he basically goes down to the waterfront the next day. His girlfriend, we weren't really paying attention the first half.
His girl, yeah,
His girl was like,
baby mama.
don't go down there, they'll kill you. And he's like, well, I got to go. And, I was like, all right, yeah, makes sense. He's got to be the man. He's got to go, like, prove himself. He gets down there, and they call everyone for work, but they don't call him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, yeah, they're going to be spiteful, And then, like, he goes down to Johnny, like, throws the hook at Johnny's door. And it's like, get out of here, you fucking coward.
Get out of here, you
Johnny
coward.
comes out, and it's like, oh, you want to go? Let's fucking go. So then they start, fighting. And they mentioned earlier in the film that the Terry was a boxer and was forced to take a dive for Johnny. And so he beats the shit out of Johnny. And Johnny has 4 of his guys come back with him, like, because he's getting his ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat the shit out of Terry to the point of death. Like, he's laying in the water, face first in the water, like, dying. The priest comes down and is like, come on, boy. You got to go. Because every other worker, they're like, get to work. And the worker's like, we're not going to work till Terry works.
We're not going to want to work, though? Yeah, wow. That's cool.
And so they get down there, and Terry's, like, beat up, bloodied, and he gets up, and he limps into the thing, and everyone just kind of goes, like, fuck you, Johnny. And I was like, yeah, empowering.
Empowering.
Dude, it was so good. Like, the ending was so good. But, like, you can't have 2/3 of a movie be ass and boring and then, like, pick it up in the last 30 minutes.
Right. You really can't. I mean, that's my point. My whole point of why I didn't even care like that it got interesting about the back half of that film.
Yeah, you were like, oh, okay, whatever.
It wasn't even the back half. Like, it was just literally the last 30 minutes. If it gets within the last 30 minutes and like I'm not interested, I really don't care what happens at the end. Like, even if I stayed and I watched it, I would have been like, I don't care because I don't have any connections to the rest of these characters. What happens?
Can we talk about Marlon Brando's, like, fucked up eyebrow? they like cut part of his eyebrow out.
Oh,
to
yeah.
make it look like edgy and be like
Edgy, right.
tough, and it just looks so dumb.
You're like, just why is your
Like
he had a scar there almost?
not even like a scar. It looks like he just woke up in the morning and was like,
No, but that's what they were gonna put a scar, but then they didn't.
he's like, this makes me look tough. I want to cut a quarter out of my eyebrow.
He shows up to work. Man, why is your eyebrow like that? He's like, what?
I'll tell you some shit.
He's like, man, it's gotta look like I fucked up.
No, I mean,
cool.
they were okay. Our next old one is Marty from 1956. That's the shortest Best Picture ever.
Hooray!
At a grand total of like 93 minutes.
An hour and 33 minutes.
I can't do the hour and whatever anymore. I always have to use like 100 or whatever because my mind can't connect to like an hour and a half. I'm like, how long is that?
Well, 60 plus 30 is 90, so 133.
No, but it's like even like if it's like 127 minutes or something, I'm like, 2 hours and 7 minutes. That makes sense.
Oh, right, exactly.
I can't do like the whole like 2 hours and 40 minutes. I'm like, no, it has to be like 130. Like, my mind connects it better.
That makes sense.
I've seen too many movies.
No, I mean that's one of the things like with books too is where you start talking about word count instead of pages.
It's like, why though? It's like, shut up. This is all I know.
This is how you're supposed to do it. This is how cinephiles do it.
You ever read the back of a case? It never says 2 hours and 17 minutes. It always says 137 minutes.
You're like, how many minutes am I gonna spend? 137 minutes.
But no, yeah, they were okay watches. I'm excited to see 12 Years a Slave next week, and then my pick in 2 weeks. I'm pretty happy about. It's gonna be real sad.
Oh no. Yeah, we're all gonna be depressed.
Sad movies. And then we're gonna watch Marty, which I'm also excited about. We might do a double feature that day though, because it's really short.
Right. Makes sense.
And just be like, we're flying through the old ones.
Yeah, we should definitely do some more of that.
We're getting to the point where we're just like, fuck our friends. We're just gonna watch them by ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things like you like. I mean, I like watching. I like being able to be.
We started watching all these in January, and then everyone started like skipping around, and I was like, I just want to watch the movies. I don't like. I could be done with this by now if I was doing it by myself.
Well, for me, it's more of I just want to be able to watch some of these movies that are critically acclaimed and that people talk about in the movie sphere a lot. And I mean, I could technically just watch them, but then I was like, but then I feel like I'm betraying myself. Not betraying myself, but also just like
we have a system.
Yeah, we have a system that I want to.
That's my problem too, because I'm like, I really want to watch things like Braveheart, which I know you want to watch,
right?
And it's like, but I'm gonna have to rewatch that again in like 6 months. So
like 6 months, right? Yeah, that makes sense. But we'll figure it out here. See what we got going on.
We're just gonna say fuck it. None of our friends really care about Skylar.
Right, exactly. Well, with that down, let's move on to some of our weekly movie watches. Each week we just watch some movies at home ourselves, and we just want to share some of those films with you guys.
So I'll go first.
Sure.
I went off the deep end this week.
The deep end? What does that supposed to mean?
I have watched like 20 movies in the past week.
Jeez. Okay.
Like it's averaged like 3 new movies a day.
I feigned surprise like you didn't send me
every single letter, like every single review. I'm like, this one, you're like, why the fuck would you even watch that? I was like, why not?
Yeah.
But no, it's I went off the deep end. I won't go over every single one because like some of them weren't that great or memorable. They were just there because of Criterion or whatever. Right. Speaking of Criterion, Criterion released a re-release of David Cronenberg's 1996 film Crash. This movie's fucking weird. I don't like this movie. It came out Tuesday, which I bought on Tuesday and watched on Tuesday. I don't think I was in the right frame of mind for this film. You don't know anything about it. You ready for this, Mytchel? You ready?
No.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Movie starts, right? I'm gonna start with this. Movie starts, 5 minutes in, sex scene. Not even 5 minutes. Maybe like first scene, woman getting nailed on an airport hangar.
I'm down.
Next scene, her husband nailing some woman in a film cabinet.
I'm down. I'm good with the filthy.
2 scenes later, they're fucking on a rooftop.
Wait, hold up. So there's 3 sex scenes.
In the first 10 minutes.
And you're telling me that this is a bad movie?
I need some substance, man. It wasn't even good. Like, they'd be fucking and she'd be like, yeah, I nailed that camera woman in the film store. She's like, oh, yeah, did she come? And I was like, dude, this movie sucks. Like, I can't handle this.
I love it. I want to watch it.
And then it gets weirder, right? So then, like, the dude's driving. He's looking at porno because it's that kind of movie. I think it's porno. At this point, I was on Facebook just, like, messaging the Criterion group I was in and being like, the fuck is this?
What do people say?
A lot of people were told me I was stupid for not enjoying it, but I was
what?
Yeah, they were like, it's a classic. I was like, no,
it's a porno.
No, this is a porn. This is all this is porn. And the dude's sitting there, he's driving the car. Now, I don't know what he was doing. I assume he was looking at porn. It would make sense in this film. I really wasn't paying attention. Maybe he was like looking at notebooks or whatever. He's a TV director. He wrecks his car into another car. And the first thing he does, he looks up and looks at the woman because like, her husband like flies into his car and dies.
Oh, no.
And he looks up and looks at the woman, her tits hanging out.
No.
And I was like, come on, man. He gets a car crash. Why would her tits
I mean, weird shit happens when you get car crashes, but damn, what the? Man, this movie's crazy.
And then he like goes to the hospital because he's fucked up. She's fucked up. They meet up later in the junkyard.
They don't have sex, do they? Do they?
They like be in the car, be in the junkyard. He's like, let me drive you home. And they go to a parking garage and fuck.
Yeah, this is a perfect movie.
And then there's this guy named Vaughn, and he's like obsessed with car crashes or whatever. He's all scarred up, and like
you said this is David Cronenberg.
This is Cronenberg,
the guy that you like love, and that you told me I need to watch.
The guy I was like, yeah, he made Videodrome, Dead Ringers. His son did Possessor.
Oh my god! So here's the thing. I bet you he's just like, all right. So I do body horror most of the time, but how can I make a porno and get away with it?
Okay. So here's the best thing though, is that this movie becomes like about a cult of like car crash fanatics who get off with car crashes.
See, that actually sounds pretty interesting. Like, it sounds weird, straight up and awkward. It's just
there's like a woman in like fucking like clasp on her legs and shit, like those, and this guy's like taking him off. And he's in like a car. He's like, oh, and I was like, fuck, this movie's fucking trash.
How do you watch Salo and then watch this and think this is what?
I went into Salo knowing what I was gonna get.
All right, fair. Yeah, I guess if you go out, because you watched a bunch of other Cronenberg movies, so I'm sure if you went into this one like not expecting something Cronenberg-ish.
It was like body horror. Let's go, because I'm gonna find the tagline for this film
horror.
And let you know what I was thinking about when I heard about this movie, because it's like it's something to do with like when flesh meets machine. I was thinking it was gonna be like people in car crashes and like melting or
mutilated.
Yeah, like I was expecting like horror. Yeah. Okay, so that's not what it says. Like that one says love is the dying of the 20th century. Whatever. Fuck. Dude, this movie's trash. Like,
I mean, I don't know. It sounds hilarious to me, but
I straight up like, God, I think there was like 40 minutes of this movie where it wasn't sex. And at one point, I looked at Jada.
40 movies that wasn't sex.
40 minutes that wasn't sex at the most out of this like hour and a half long movie.
Wow.
But like, I looked at Jada at one point, and there's like the Bond guy all scarred up and shit, and I was like, how much you want to bet the main character's gonna suck that dude's dick?
No way. And he did, didn't he?
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh my god. That's too much.
Do you want to know who played the main character in this film?
Who?
The guy who played Ultron, John Spader.
James Spader? Oh wow.
He played this dude sucking this guy's dick in a crashed car.
That's actually kind of cool.
But all I could think about was like, why is this made? And, part of it, maybe I would have enjoyed it more if I knew what I was going to get into.
Sure.
But just being like, I'm going to put this new Criterion movie in, eating dinner, and then we're like sitting there, we're like eating food, and when I look up, and it's like sexy, and I was like, it's a good thing I'm fucking hungry, and I don't want to eat this anymore.
Wow, that's wow. Well, that is out of left field. That is not what I was expecting. I thought I was just going to let you come on here and tell you it was trash, but like that was out of left field.
Yeah, dude, this is straight up just a softcore porno. Just the whole fucking time. They drive by car crashes. They're like, oh, at the ending of the film, the dude's like,
gee, Cronenberg's new film, softcore porn, in theaters near you.
The ending of the film, this is how the movie ends. I'm going to spoil this because I don't think you're going to watch it, and I don't think people should watch it. But,
yeah, probably not, but you go ahead.
The car crash. The guy starts like chasing his wife down to crash her because they're getting off on this shit, and he wrecks her car off a bridge. Gets down, her car's flipped. She's crawling out of the car. He gets down there and starts fucking her underneath the car crash on the side of the road in the middle of the day. And that's how the movie ends. That's the ending. There's nothing else. That's it.
It sounds like something that you would have find in your dad's just like on the bottom shelf all the way to like the left. You take it out and you're like, what the fuck is Crash? And then you put it in and you're just sitting there like you have the sound all the way down. You have like the screen dim or light turned dim all the way dim, and you just keep looking over your shoulder every 5 minutes, hoping your dad doesn't come downstairs and catch you watching his Crash movie.
I can't when I have kids or whatever, I gotta hide this because
you gotta take another cover.
Hey, we're gonna have movie night tonight. Oh, Dad, this looks cool. No. We're not watching that.
You gotta make a fake cover for it. It's like construction workers go to work. Just put it in there. Nobody will ever watch it.
Documentary of construction work.
Yeah.
How pipes are made.
How
to clean your pipes.
Why do you have instruction videos on pipes? He's like, don't worry, you'll find out when you're older.
One day you'll see it.
Pipes are important. You'll just find.
Yeah, that was the weird movie this week. That was the
All right.
I posted that on the criteria group I'm in, and like one person was like, I updated it. I was like, I'm so excited to watch this new Cronenberg film. And I did update. It was like, this movie's fucking weird. I don't like it.
You're like, you're trash.
So
How dare you?
one person was like, yeah, the update to this just makes me love this post even more.
That's hilarious.
And then I know you watched a comedy.
I do watch
You
comedy.
made me try to guess what it was with some obscure motherfucking video.
I love it. I love it. It's just sending you random videos when I'm watching a movie. Like, guess what I'm watching? Because you're never gonna guess it. Because I don't want to send you the main character. But
You know when you sent me the main character, I was like, what the fuck even is this?
yeah, it's called this movie called Waiting. 2006, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's right after Patreon. I think it's like 2005, 2006.
And it's with Ryan Reynolds. He's one of the main characters.
Yeah, that's what you sent me. You're like, yeah, I'll send you the main character. Sends me the pic. Sends me right. I was like, the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's basically just him with like a bunch of other people inside a like a restaurant, and it's just a day in the life of the restaurant. Like basically, they hire this new kid, and then Ryan Reynolds takes him through and shows him the ropes. It's really funny. There's a lot of stuff that you would just retail wise that you can relate to.
You sent me that one where the woman's like yelling at the cook.
She's like, freaks the fuck out, yeah.
She's like, 20 goddamn minutes, make 2 medium rare steaks. The fuck is going on? And I was just like, I feel that.
And then she turns the corner, and the customer, and she's like, hi, thank you.
How are you doing today? I was like, oh my.
You guys are doing good.
She's pretty cute too.
Yeah, she was cool. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot
I
of
looked at the actress because you sent me the video, and I was like, yeah, she's cute. What else is she in? Nothing. She's in nothing.
Wow. Well, a lot of these, I haven't seen a lot of those actors before, so. But yeah, I mean, it was a movie. I mean, I don't know. It was on Netflix. I watched it. It was funny. Like, I don't.
Mel taking a drink of soda, and he's like, yeah, it's a movie.
I don't know. It's a comedy movie. There's not much more to expect. I mean, you really get what you have Ryan Reynolds. You know what you're in for. You know.
Before he was like famous too. Like, I wouldn't say before he was famous. Before he was a household name.
Right. Household name, exactly.
No, but I liked what you sent me. I was like, fuck is he watching? You sent me that one where like the two goth guys were outside. They were like, or the two stoners.
There's so much different.
We're gonna sell some weed, get some fucking puss, more than Dre, more than Snoop. I was like, the fuck is this movie? What are you watching?
There's so many different types of comedy in here. That's why it's just like anybody can watch this and find some humor out of it.
I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm laughing. So
what I enjoy about the movie is that usually at least nowadays when I see Ryan Reynolds, he seems like he takes the star of the show. But this one's
just Deadpool.
Well, yeah, exactly. And he was too in this one, but still, I mean, obviously it was before Deadpool, but still, he just is Deadpool, so that's how it works. But he wasn't like he didn't take away from the movie. He just added to it, but also all the rest of everybody else was funny too.
There's a Ryan Reynolds movie I think you need to watch.
What's that?
The Voices.
I've never heard of that. You know what Ryan Reynolds is a movie I did watch, and I don't know if I've talked about it on here. It's Buried. Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie.
No, okay,
all to its core.
So The Voices. Ryan Reynolds plays this guy who like talks to his dog and cat, and they talk to him, and like Anna Kendrick's in the movie.
Oh, it sounds like trash, but I would love it because it's a Ryan Reynolds.
It's fucking dude.
And Anna Kendrick's pretty.
I wouldn't do it. I saw a trailer, like, because I watched previews on Blu-rays and shit because I'm weird and I'm
Goes home
more movies. And I was like, yeah, this movie sounds pretty cool. Like, I bought it and was watching it. I was like, this movie's fucking weird.
2014. And I can watch it on Tubi for free. Guess what I'm doing when I go home?
That's fucking weird. Dude, he talks like his dog's like so nice. He's like, yeah, you got this, man. You got this. You're doing great. And then the cat's like, yeah, you fucking weirdo. You fucking loner. Fuck you.
Speaking of Ryan Reynolds, he just said that I just saw. I mean, actually, they were speaking of movie news that we didn't mention. I know he just said he's going to be in a new film. I forgot what it's called though. It was not because there's Free Guy that obviously he's doing that was supposed to come out.
And that's getting pushed and pushed.
Right, of course, just because of COVID. But there's something he just announced that he was going to be in. I guess so. What? Why is he in that? Anyways, there's a Red Notice.
No, he's going to be Deadpool in that one.
Yeah. Red Notice. So it's a new like crime movie, but it's with The Rock and Gal Gadot.
Interesting.
It's just like the description says, in the world of international crime, an Interpol agent attempts to hunt down and capture the world's most wanted art thief.
This just sounds like a play on Hitman's Bodyguard.
Right, but
I love it.
But I think it's the fact that it has The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Gal Gadot, but she's Wonder Woman, so
I'm pretty excited to see if he actually is in Doctor Strange
I love-
Multiverse of Madness.
Mm,
It's like, why is he here? He's gonna be Deadpool. What else would he be?
I think the fact that it still says 2020 is very accurate.
You're like, update your shit. But no, yeah. So yeah, Ryan Reynolds is a treasure. I love Ryan Reynolds. You should watch The Voices tonight. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm actually lying.
I don't know if I'd say it's good. It's weird.
No, I don't care. Like Ryan
He
Reynolds.
works in I think it's like a sardine factory. He like works in a sardine factory. It's weird.
Well,
It's a weird movie.
Well, the thing about Ryan Reynolds is it doesn't matter what he's in. You can just watch it and have fun. Even if he's not in comedic roles, like Barry, but fuck that movie.
I mean, The Voices is kind of comedic. It's strange, but that's not here or there. Right. I watched another Criterion movie this week, though.
Oh, this is a Criterion movie too? I mean, I guess, of course it is.
I have watched basically nothing but Criterion movies.
Spartacus?
I watched
Spartacus?
I finally got past the first 100 spots of the collection, and then I've just been going hard. Like, I'm at spine 115 now. Like, I've just been fucking flying.
Wow.
That's why I'm like, I have had a very intense week.
But you watched a good...
I watched a 1960 film called Spartacus.
Of course, who doesn't know Spartacus?
With Kirk Douglas, who died this year, actually, like January.
Yep.
And this is a strange thing. I keep watching movies with actors that recently died in them.
This is awkward.
Yeah, because I watched what's it called?
Surreal.
The Rock, and it's Sean Connery in it, and I was like, it's so weird. I feel uncomfortable.
You know,
especially when they're recent, because it's like if it's an older actor that died, I'm like, yeah, but it's like that's pretty fucking recent. I don't know, like what are the odds?
What are the odds?
But yeah, so Spartacus is essentially Gladiator. I don't know if you've seen that.
Nope.
So he is a slave that gets sold to be a gladiator.
Oh, I know what Spartacus is. Like I've never seen it, but I just know of it, and I already know this is a good film just from.
This is the whack thing about this though, is I was like, the whole movie only happens because he falls in love with another slave, and they take her away, and he revolts and fucking frees every slave around because they take his woman. He's like, all right, bitch, and just fucking revolts. It's so fucking funny. I find it funny, but I have weird humor because I just like the concept of him just being like, I was okay with this, but you took her away. Now I'm revolt.
What comedy did you watch the other day that you didn't find that funny? And I was like, how? Because I forgot what it was.
I don't find a lot of comedies funny.
I know.
I have really crap. I'd be with someone else to have like really funny comedy. Otherwise, there'll be like a serious scene, and they'll be like, "I'm gonna kill you. You can try." I'm like, yeah, do it.
Well, that's me too. There you go.
But like,
what do you think of Spartacus?
Stupidly long, at about 3 hours.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, there's an intermission in this film.
You know
what film's long when there's an intermission?
I don't know if it's old. You know it's old when it has an intermission because even newer movies don't have intermissions.
Like, you're like, Lord of the Rings, yeah, you just sit through this bitch. Because Endgame, you just sit through this bitch. Spartacus is like, we'll give you like a 5-minute break. Also, the intro to this film is like 10 minutes long, and it's nothing but like a black screen and fucking like triumphant music. And I'm just like, oh my god, get to the fucking film.
Get to the film,
bro. It's a 3-hour-long runtime already, and 10 minutes of it is just like statues and dun 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 dun.
That's just interesting, like all old films.
But I was lucky enough to go to work as soon as the intermission happened. So I was like, all right, cool, I got a break.
Oh, okay.
And I came back from work and finished it.
Like, you got an actual intermission.
Yeah, I was like, thank God I had to sit down one time because I would have lost my mind. But like, yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of this. I thought it was really good, well acted. Laurence Olivier from Rebecca's in this. I don't know if you saw that movie. He was also in Hamlet, that great one we watched. He's a weird actor. I've only seen him in Rebecca that I liked. Everything else I'm like, he did okay in this one though. But Kirk Douglas, man, he stole the fucking show.
Is Kirk Douglas related to Michael Douglas?
I don't think so, no.
Too many last names are the same.
Celebrities!
One thing that we did watch, actually, like last week that we forgot to talk about.
We were supposed to, and we totally just glossed over it.
Is the movie Mulan.
Yeah, it came out
2020.
It came out on Blu-ray on the 10th.
It did,
and I didn't know that until the 17th.
And not the, to be clear, not the cartoon, but the live-action version.
Yeah, not the good one.
Yeah, and it's very. I'm just gonna let you know. I'm very sad about this movie. Yeah, I'm not even mad at it. I'm just sad because.
You didn't even spend money. I did.
Oh, true. Good point. Maybe that's why I'm not mad.
You're like, yeah, I was okay with that. I'm over here like, I wasted $30.
Well, no, I'm not okay with it, but it's just like they ruined what Mulan is, and so they
ruined the whole point of Mulan.
They did, and my point, whenever you do make a remake or when you do a reboot or whatever. I don't mind it as long as you keep the spirit of of whatever you're telling, the story you were telling, the same.
Yeah, you know what frustrated me the most about this?
But
I've always thought of Mulan as like a story to show that a woman can be just as good as a man.
right,
There's gender doesn't matter. Anyone can be a warrior. Anyone can do what they can stand for what they believe in. You know, it's supposed to be like an empowering thing.
sure.
5 minutes into this movie, she's doing backflips off of fucking buildings at 8 years old.
But yeah, exactly.
I
We
was
ruined,
like-
it, within, we
I was like,
ruined it within the first
the
5 minutes.
fuck? And then like she goes to training, and it's like she's pretending to be weak. She's like, oh no, I'm like everyone else. And then the guy's like, come on, man, you can do better than this. I know you. And then she's just immediately the best.
They
fucking
gave
person.
Mulan superpowers just and completely ruined it.
They just do Matrix fucking arrows and shit being shot at her. She's like fucking leaning back on her horse to dodge arrows while hits everybody else. I'm like, bro, the whole point is that she's just like everyone else.
Right, and they gave her Matrix powers. They have some witch that can transform into
that's
animals,
okay,
and
so,
they don't have Mushu.
Yeah, Jada got so mad. She's like, oh, you can have a fucking witch, but you can't have Mushu? The fuck?
It's dumb.
It's like, yeah, you're right. And then they made like the villain some new guy instead of like Shao Kahn. And I'm like, all right, you know, whatever. That's fine. You can have a new villain. Doesn't matter. It doesn't change the story. But making her fucking like the story
of Mulan is that she's just an average person. She's not better than anybody else, but she still takes up the responsibility for her father because he's weak, and then she becomes a good warrior by herself.
Yeah, she doesn't. She earns her way up. She trains. She becomes as strong as everybody else. It's not just like, here you go, you're Mulan. You automatically get powers.
While proving that. Like not just that a woman can do it, but anybody can do it.
Yeah, there was no struggle for her. I felt like it was just like she pretended the whole time.
Yeah, it's like she was pretending to be.
Let me pretend to be weak and can't carry the buckets. Oh, come on, you know you can do better than that. Yeah, look at me, I go up the mountain, one shot. I'm like, fuck that.
I know.
Fuck just that.
And then they had this whole thing with the chi, and that was basically the superpowers. And I feel like
that pissed so many people off. They're like, the chi is a superpower. Yeah. Everyone has it.
I was like, that seems like the most like white dude thing ever. Like, so there's a white writer who just did not understand anything about culture at all.
They're like, Disney's like, hey man, I want you to make this live action. It would be really cool. He's like, oh yeah. They're like, yeah, so you're gonna make it like the cartoon, right? Because people like the cartoon. Nah, man.
Watch me like by myself, and it was actually somebody that wasn't a white dude. But
it's written by a Japanese or a Chinese scholar, just like, yeah, I know everything.
I'm trying to look it up here to see.
No, it bothered me because it's just like everything that made the original so special just doesn't matter. Exactly. I get things like them getting rid of the love interest. I'm like, okay, you don't need that. Sure, I mean, whatever. And then
yeah, well, it wasn't.
They're white women.
White women, yeah.
They're not white men. They're white women. So they couldn't even get the women empowerment section right. They're just immediately better than everybody.
See, but that's my thing though is they'll just say women are empowering. And it's just like they say it, and kind of like what Supergirl. I think you've ever seen this TV show on CW, Supergirl. But they kind of say like they make it like a very apparent that she's like, I can do it because I'm a woman. And they say that like legit say it like that, and
see,
that's
but I
why
feel like that's not empowering. Here we are, two white guys.
Right. Obviously, I mean, clearly, preface it with obviously like where I'm white male dude, so I mean obviously I'm doing that through that lens, and I can't say.
But even my wife was upset about this. Like it's not just us. We're not the only ones that are like, yeah, this movie sucks. It's literally like everybody.
Right.
Like there's very little people that are like, this movie's amazing. And like everyone's
if you enjoy it, great. Like that's good for you, but it's not Mulan. It's not Mulan, and that's really it's not Mulan.
I went in this with like no expectations. I was like, I can't think of the cartoon when watching this.
Right.
It's not the same thing. It's a story. It's not the adaptation. And then like halfway through, when she was like matrixing arrows and stuff, I was like, I don't like this movie.
Yeah, I fell asleep at one point, and I woke up, and there was some weird shit going on, like I don't know, some sort of like she was dodging stuff, like it was kind of like Matrixy, and I was like, I'm out. I don't.
Yeah, I was so mad. And I don't think Disney can get a break with the live action remakes though. Like it doesn't matter if they're to the source, like Lion King. Everyone's like, it's too close to the source. It's not original enough. I just watched the cartoon. It's like,
yeah, some people said that,
if
but
they do
also
it too different, like Dumbo, they're like, it's not the same. It's like.
But here's the thing about but the Lion King still made over like what did it make $2 billion, $1 billion?
I feel like anything with the Disney stamp makes money.
No, I agree. I'm just saying
they don't need to try. They can just be like Disney, and they're like, oh shit,
for the most part,
take my money.
Right, for the most part, I agree.
But also,
I mean, Lion King was pretty good. I liked the Lion King movie.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with the Lion King.
I think a lot of people liked it. I mean,
I-
it was definitely people had that complaint that it was sort of like the original,
Everyone
but it was
I
like,
talked to about it was like, I would just rather watch the cartoon. It's essentially the same movie. It's like,
but you know, all those people are going to go buy that movie. I mean, obviously before Disney Plus, but people go buy that movie and put it on. I mean, they might do a double feature one. You know, I feel like I honestly, this is me, but I would rather watch a live action version than the cartoon.
I like the live action Disney movies. I want to give them faith. I'm like, come on, like I believe in you, Disney.
They're hit and miss.
I believe you.
For sure, hit and miss.
It's like Maleficent. The first time I watched Maleficent, I was okay with it.
I haven't seen it.
I was a kid though. You know, I was like 12. I was like, yeah, this is a pretty good movie. Now I'm watching like the live action Disney remakes. I'm like, Aladdin was the only one I enjoyed.
I love Beauty and the Beast.
I watched that in theaters, and I'm not a huge fan of musicals.
Oh, I love Beauty and the Beast. So I was like, yes, and then I thought
I did like the Jungle Book remake, like the adaptation for Jungle Book. That was really good.
What's her name? Not Stone. Stone's
Emma Watson.
Watson, that's it. Yeah, there's two Emmas, and I was like, I know it's not Stone, but what's her last name? Watson. Emma Watson.
Yeah, no, I really like the Jungle Book. The live action Jungle Book.
Oh yes, that was good.
Because that one was the one that started all this, and that was really good.
That was Jon Favreau, so of course it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And then Dumbo, I was okay with Dumbo, but I wasn't like blown away by Dumbo.
For anybody who doesn't know, Jon Favreau is the guy who directed Iron Man
and is a producer on Mandalorian.
He's the creator of Mandalorian.
The creator. I know he's directed episodes and he helped. Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically the whole, forerunner of that.
He and Dave Filoni were like, let me put our hands all over this shit.
Exactly.
Get out of the way, Disney.
I mean, and he plays Happy. In Iron Man, Spider-Man.
I love that man. I've never met the man, but I love him. He has such a good vision.
It's just like it was like crazy for me that he was acting in the films, but also directing them. It was just like, wait, what?
No, yeah, I love Jon Favreau. They're making a Jungle Book too.
I mean, it makes sense.
It is what it is. Do you think that we're getting really off topic? I'm okay with it though. Dave Filoni, do you think he should direct a Star Wars movie? Because I wish he would.
Yeah, I'm cool.
I mean, I know he's like a cartoon guy, but even if you would just write a Star Wars movie, just put your hands on something in like the live action universe. Here's not a show.
Here's why I think he would do good. Is because obviously he just did the last episode of Mandalorian.
That was an episode.
Right.
And I'm like, imagine what you could do with like a 2-hour long fucking runtime.
Right. Well, that was his first outing as a live action director. Well, here's what the thing. He even said. He told, I don't know who's interviewed him, but he said that I don't know anything about live action directing, but I'm willing to learn. Like whatever.
It's straight up like you gotta think about how much this man has given to Star Wars. Like Filoni himself, he has created the Clone Wars series that helped make the prequels better with more like conceptual understanding of like the Clone Wars themselves.
Sure.
He made Anakin likable. Like he created Ahsoka, which has become went from one of the most hated Star Wars characters to one of the most revered. Like everyone loves Ahsoka now.
Right.
And that's due to character development. He developed this character from a 14-year-old girl to a 17-year-old war veteran in the course of 7 seasons.
Well, you also have to think that the people that watch the Clone Wars and Rebels are very slim compared to people that have watched Star Wars.
Yes, because the movies are obviously bigger.
Right.
But then you got to think about he brought Darth Maul back. He made Rebels, which has created some of the most some of the best canon characters. Had Obi-Wan and Darth Maul's meeting and all that other shit. This man knows his shit.
Right, he knows Star Wars for sure, and so I definitely think that he would be. Yeah, I mean, he definitely would be apt to go into a
just one movie. Just give me one. I just want to see what he can do.
I don't know if I would want to see him do one yet, just because.
No, let him direct a few more Mandalorian things. To work on the Kenobi
I would
project.
rather see him do a small project or maybe head his own live action thing more than just one episode first, and then go into it.
Yeah, let me see more. What he
do want to see do a Star Wars movie really is Taika Waititi.
He is.
Oh, is it confirmed that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he has I don't know if it's a trilogy, but he got hit with Star Wars. Yeah.
Oh, dope. Because that one episode,
which is the funniest thing about Thor Ragnarok's opening is he did a director's intro, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry about JJ, Mom. I'm sorry I can't direct Star Wars." And then they're like,
"You want to direct Star Wars?
You want to do Star Wars then?"
He's like, "Wait."
He's like, "Oh shit, really?"
No, honestly, it wasn't even Thor Ragnarok that got me excited about. That was pretty cool. I like Thor Ragnarok, but what really sold me on Taika Waititi was Jojo Rabbit.
Yes. Dude, okay, so I'm not the biggest fan. I think the movie runs too long for me
Okay.
because I was like, there's like one scene where I was like, it could just end there, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. And I feel like he just dragged it on, but I was like, I'm okay with it. Like I'm enjoying myself, so I'm good.
Right.
But no, like straight up, like Jojo Rabbit made me cry twice.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody, all you have to do to get me to tear up is just say, I choke up just thinking about it, the shoe scene.
Dude, that's so pretty, and that was so unexpected for me. Like,
Dude, I literally, like, you just say it, and I think about it, and I tear up. Like, I don't know how it hits me so hard after, like, the film. I've seen it, like, only twice. But the shoe scene, you know what I'm talking about, and you just instantly feel bad.
you know, it's so sad too because like it's such a happy scene, and it's just like depression.
Right. It wasn't even depression. It was like they just punched you in the face, like, with sadness. I was like, this is messed up, man.
Yeah, so he's set to direct and co-write an upcoming live-action Star Wars film.
All right. Well, that is exciting.
I'm so excited because it's like I love movies like Star Wars movies that aren't like or Star Wars properties that aren't just around like the Skywalker stuff.
I'm so done with that. I'm so done with that.
I'm like
they ruined Rey. They ruined that whole.
They ruined Finn.
They ruined Finn.
Even like Finn had no character development past the first one.
Yeah, that's fair. And they just ran a whole trilogy, and so the new trilogy. And and that's why I'm so excited about the Mandalorian is because they're expanding the universe.
Yeah, I love the expansion stuff.
Yeah,
that's why I'm like they're bringing in the cartoon stuff to like live action. I'm like, yes, do it, give me more,
do it.
And it's not even like they're shoving it down your throat. Like, oh, if you haven't seen the cartoons, you're not gonna know what's going on.
No, I haven't seen the cartoons.
Like, they're there for the people that actually like care, but they're there to like help progress the story. They're not just there to be like, hey, here's Ahsoka.
Yeah, exactly.
She's now the main character. She's there and she leaves.
It adds like flavor to it, if you know, like kind of like if you watch like Avengers, like the first Avengers, you don't necessarily need to know all the.
Yeah, you don't need to watch Thor.
It just adds to it.
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like God, what I'm trying to think. It's like WandaVision with like Doctor Strange. Like I don't think you're gonna need to watch WandaVision to know what's going on in Doctor Strange.
I don't think so. No.
Because like.
No, you don't.
How many people that watch live action movies, like the big movies, are going to be the ones watching the show?
There's going to be less percentage for sure.
Because like
a lot less percentage.
I know for me, because this is just how I am. I don't watch a lot of TV shows. I find like the whole drawn out thing, just like just give me what I want.
Right.
But I'm also like with the Marvel shows, they gave each episode $1 million budget. They're all hour long. So essentially, it's a 6 hour long movie with a $6 million budget.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
Actually, it might be more than $1 million. I think it's way more than $1 million.
It's quite.
I think it's like $10 million.
They give a lot of money. And that's one of the things I've liked about these newer films, or not films, but the series is that they just put in the production budgets for it, which make them like more interesting, like kind of like the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, dude, 100%. Yeah, the budget for WandaVision alone was $150 million.
So basically,
it's a movie.
A movie, yeah. I mean, over the span of 6 episodes, but so you basically get a 6 hour long movie.
Yeah, and that's great, and I love that. And I'm okay with the whole like waiting a week for episodes because I'm like, give me time to digest. And don't let me just like binge and shit. But let me digest. Let me get hyped for the next episode. Let me feel that.
Let me feel that excitement. Exactly. So
that's what I am with the Mandalorian. Every Friday, I'm like, yeah, but then my wife's like, I gotta go to work, and I'm like, no, I gotta wait till Monday now.
But that's what I think a lot of movie fans like forget is that in our circles, sure, everybody watches these series, but there's a lot of people that don't. Like a large majority of the movie-going population doesn't actually watch some of these shows. Yeah, I mean, maybe like WandaVision and Mandalorian, they'll jump on because those are big high budget things.
Do you hear how many people dropped Disney Plus once the Mandalorian season 1 was over?
Yeah, I would have.
It went down like 40%.
I would have dropped
1 month, just like everyone's gone because everyone's like, yeah, Mandalorian's over. I'll be back when something else is back.
That's true. I mean, I already have all the other movies I want to watch anyways. So
yeah, it's like I feel that, but I think with WandaVision showing up in January, there's 3 episodes left.
Sure.
So we're gonna have like a 2-week period where there's nothing that I want to watch, and I'm like, I'm good with that. I'm alright with that. Mm-hmm. Give me more.
More. Well, we can talk about Star Wars and Marvel and
all day,
nerdy shit all day. So I want the whole show on that.
I'm really excited about this one though because I haven't seen this since I was a kid.
Yes, so with our thoughts on the various content we watched throughout the week, spiraling into the Filmverse, let's move on to our Filmverse feature. Each week before our podcast, we watch a film that the other person wants to share. Last week, since we are in the holiday season, I chose Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Bryce, what did you think?
I laughed throughout the entire thing. I didn't realize how like perverted this movie was. This movie has a lot of like innuendos. And I
It
love
does so much. That's why I think my dad we watched it every year because he thought it was funny. I've watched this movie like ever since it came out. So basically every year since I was a kid.
Yeah, I was having a lot of fun with this. I think Jim Carrey was obviously the star of the show. His
I mean,
wackiness is like the best
Yeah,
fucking part.
without Jim Carrey, this movie does not work.
No, it wouldn't, because it'd be like, all right, whatever. It's just a dumb movie about the Grinch. He's like his facial expressions, his with the way he moves, it's just
Yep.
so fucking fun to watch.
Exactly.
He's like over exaggerating his arms. He's like, oh, look at me, arms in the air, and it's like, yeah, this works. I don't know why it works, but it works. And Whoville itself is so fucking strange to look at.
It is.
It's like the buildings are all like plasticky, and I'm like, I don't really like that, but I'm like, it fits. Like it just fits the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is not a movie that a lot of people don't like. Like, first, I don't know why for the life of me because I guess I get it. Like, it's very campy and kind of dumb and silly.
People are cinephiles. They want good content, Mitchell. They don't want to have a fun time. They want to cry.
But to me, it's just like I don't know. It's just like a classic for me, not necessarily a classic film, but just a classic.
This is trending on Netflix.
I mean, it's because it's Christmas.
It's number 8 on Netflix right now.
Yeah, it's Christmas, so I mean, of course it is. The Grinch is something every year. I mean, it's weird because a lot of people love to hate on this film, but
they still watch it. They're like it sucks, but we're gonna watch it anyway. Meanwhile, I'm over there like, I haven't seen this since I was like 4 years old. I'm laughing my ass off through the entire thing. I did. It was so bad. Like I was laughing at everything, and I hate humor, so I was just like, I don't know. It's just funny for me.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Is like Jim Carrey is just hilarious. So
yeah, he's just fucking the way he talks and shit. He's like, he's looking at Mary Lou, and he's like, yeah, go the fuck away. I don't like you. Go. And she's like, hi. It's like, no, leave, shoot. I love the whole jury duty.
Hate mail. Eviction letter. Oh, what is it? He's like, hey, double H. No, entirely.
I hate you. And then his backstory is so sad. He's like, you're 8 years old with a beard, shaves. Oh my god, he's so hideous. I'm like, you told him to do this. This is your
I know.
Like, you're the cause of this, you fucking jackass. Yeah, we were talking. Okay, so it's called How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but he doesn't steal Christmas. He steals everything. He burglarizes everybody.
He stole the ring. He stole their food. He wasn't even like. He just straight up was like, "Y'all ain't getting shit this year."
He's like, "You're not even gonna get a fucking ham. Nothing. Oh, you think you have a couch? It's mine now.
It's Christmas colors. Mine."
It's like. I was sitting next to you and I was like, dude, he's not stealing Christmas. He's just stealing everything. He's burglarizing these motherfuckers.
Oh, I love it. He asked for a taxi and it went by and he's like, what's it become green? I was like, oh, that's fucked up.
I just love how he's like, oh, I gotta get the sled. And then Mary Lou's like, hi. And he's like, fuck.
He's like, why are you up there?
I was like, because he feels for her now. He's like, fuck, I like you. Shit.
But what will I wear?
He's like,
that's it. I'm not going.
Not this time. Okay, I'm going.
6 o'clock, just 7 o'clock, dinner myself. I can't cancel that again.
Also, you know they knew what they were doing when they gave him that razor. You know.
Yeah.
Like, here's your present.
Oh, well, no,
like,
of course he did. Yeah,
he was having such a fun time before that, too.
Yeah.
He was into it. He was like, yeah, look at me, start the show. You lost.
But I love it. He gave a speech. His little speech was like, this is what all you care about is presents. All you guys care about is presents.
Yeah, I love it. It's so weird to think about that Jim Carrey, too, because it doesn't, like, it's just, you look at that face, you're like,
it doesn't sound like Jim Carrey.
No way.
Right, exactly.
I was really impressed with it, though. I was really happy with it. I was laughing the entire thing. I don't even like Christmas, so I was like, yeah, I love this. This is so funny.
Oh, it's beautiful. And Cindy Lou is so cute, even though she's naked and does.
Yeah, now she wears tape on her nipples
and does heavy metal.
You ever see? Oh my god! I was about to say, have you ever seen any videos of her live? No, dude. She's straight up. She's topless with like fucking like a thong on stage with like her nipples with tape on it, and she's just up there just like singing, and I'm like,
talk about
Mary Lou.
No, Cindy Lou.
Cindy Lou. Who?
You're like, my childhood is literally ruined now.
Dude, it's so weird. And I think I was like, her being asked like, so what got you into singing? She's like, I was in that Grinch movie.
No,
It
you know hilarious.
inspired me.
You know hilarious is she made a Grinch song. The Grinch took my virginity.
Oh, please no.
I just thought she could get famous on that, but she probably don't care.
She probably doesn't even think about this movie. She's like, whatever, I don't need it. She's probably gotten so much hate because everyone's like, Cindy Lou, and she's like, oh my god, please,
like, God damn it, not again.
I'm 28 years old.
She's like, how do you even know? Like, I don't look like that anymore. I literally took off my clothes. That's what you tell me. That's what you think. That's what you think about. I took off my clothes. And
I am naked in front of you, and I'll be like, it's Cindy Lou.
Cindy Lou. No, shut the fuck up. Get the.
The pretty reckless. Fuck. This is what I want to be known for. It's like, no, you're Cindy Lou. She's like, God damn it.
Jim Carrey, what the fuck?
I was 7 years old.
Jim Carrey, what the fuck are they doing? He's like, yeah, I know. Well, I don't know. They want.
He's like, listen, man, they think I'm fucking nuts now. Like, I'm trying to be like fucking Eggman over here, and they're like, oh look, it's Ace Ventura. Like, I haven't done that.
Right, exactly. I was like, they still want to do Ace Ventura stuff. I'm like, God damn it. I was like, they asked me for Dumb and Dumber 3. Like, no.
They're like, they want me to do the mask again. I already said no to that.
Okay, but I would love to see him in the mask before.
We have a mask sequel.
Okay, but no. Like, not Sam's mask. Well, that was my Filmverse feature for this week. We get into the Christmas spirit, but I'm guessing yours is going to be slightly different. So what did you pick for me or for us to watch next week?
I've never seen this. I don't know if you've seen this. I picked Whiplash.
Oh, was that with Chris Hemsworth?
No.
What's the one? Oh, wait. Oh, no. This came out the same year.
God, what's his name? He plays.
I'm pretty sure this came out the same year.
Jonah Jameson.
Oh, come on, man. Why do I know his name?
I don't know his name either. It's bothering me because I have his face in my head. I have the scene where he's like yelling at the guy playing the drums. He's like, that's not good.
Give me pictures of Spider-Man. J. Jonah Jameson.
J.K. Simmons. Yes. I know this movie is supposed to be like so good. It was nominated for Best Picture, a bunch of other shit.
So 2014, and it has Myles Teller, which is he's a good actor. That's all I know.
J.K. Simmons.
Oh, Melissa Benoist. That's the chick that is the superhero, Supergirl.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I've only seen one scene from this movie, and it's like he's playing the drums, and like the guy's like, "You're not on my tempo. Yeah, stay on my tempo."
I don't know why I get
stay on my tempo, and then like he starts yelling. He's like, "Why the fuck aren't you on my goddamn tempo?"
I keep getting this movie mixed up with Whiplash, and I don't know why.
Do you think that
the
minute you join the MCU, all you do is now is movies with other people in the MCU?
Probably.
Yeah, like Tom Holland's like, "Hey man, I really want to do Uncharted." They're like, "Well, you have to have someone else in there with you. You can't do it by yourself."
Yeah, get Mark Wahlberg. Wait, no, he's not a Mark movie.
Yes, he is.
What movie is he in?
Is he?
No, Mark Wahlberg's not. Mark Wahlberg's Ted dude.
Yeah, wasn't he in Ragnarok?
No, that was. Wait, who?
Was that Brad Pitt?
For who? For what character?
Well, he didn't play an actual character. He played a cameo. I don't know who it is though. I know he.
What cameo?
I'm trying to figure it out.
I don't remember.
He plays like one of them plays Odin. Like it's either Brad Pitt or Mark Wahlberg. I think it's Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, you mean like the fake Odin?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
You're like, that doesn't count, Bryce.
Oh, no, this is a movie I get mixed up. Rush with I get this movie mixed up with Whiplash. I don't know why. Because it came around at the same time.
I'm like trying to I'm trying to figure it out now. I'm like, come on, I know it's here somewhere. No, Matt Damon.
Oh, okay.
It's close. They all look the same.
Yeah, you can. Okay. Yeah, they're all sort of like white.
They're all white guys.
White box faces.
Fucking weird ass hair and shit. I mean, they all look the same. Fuck it. I'm sure Mark Wahlberg's.
No, but actually, I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it was nominated for Best Picture. Sweet. Which ironically, it lost 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, hey, look at that. We can watch that, and then we'll watch 12 Years a Slave, and watch that. We can actually kind of do a little comparison.
I'm kind of excited because I was doing like random thing. I was like, I gotta find a movie because I had one, so we were watching The Grinch, and I was like, I gotta find something. So I was doing random, and it's like Whiplash. I was like, yeah, I want to watch Whiplash. I did with Whiplash.
Let's do it.
I'm trying to figure out if like Mark Wahlberg's ever been in it.
Yeah, I don't think he has been in there because I would have remembered that. I don't like Mark Wahlberg, so whatever that was, I don't like him. Remember it.
That's lame. I thought he was.
I don't like him, but except for Intact, which is dumb. But
you don't like him in Transformers?
No, I hated that movie.
Me too. It's okay.
I love the first Transformers, but after that, it's trash.
I don't even like those. I liked him in
But you don't like the first Transformers
I
movie?
really haven't seen him.
Okay,
I like him in Max Payne, but I'm biased about that.
I haven't seen that. So
It's based on the video game, and I'm biased. Like I said, Max Payne. I mean, come on, man. Have you ever seen Max Payne? Like heard of Max Payne?
no.
Oh my
I mean,
god!
in passing, but I mean, I recognize
Look how it's spelled.
Payne. Yeah,
That's why I'm biased. I'm like, I feel attached.
no, I recognize the IP, but I just don't like know what it's about.
I used to watch the movie all the time as a kid, just because I was like, hey, that's my last name.
Well, speaking of your last name, thank you guys for joining us as we talk movie news, share your thoughts on the season 2, episode 5 of Mandalorian. Plunge deep into the filmverse, onto the waterfront, Spartacus, Waiting, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and Mulan,
And much more.
and much, much more. New episodes come out every Friday, so be sure to follow us and turn on notifications to get updates every time we post. To stay up to date with our Outside the Cast adventures, follow us on Instagram at Into the Filmverse Podcast. And if you want to follow our personal endeavors, you can find
me on Letterboxd at Paid Reviews, P-A-Y-N-D Reviews. I post a lot of like Criterion shit right now.
Yeah.
And then you can also find me on Instagram at Sanguine Director, Sanguine. I'm gonna change that because it's so fucking long. And on Twitter at Sanguine Films.
And you can find me, Mytchel Chandler, on Facebook and Instagram at author Mytchel Chandler, on Twitter at Mytchel Chandler, and on Letterboxd at Mitch Reviews.
See how simple yours is compared to mine?
Mitch is spelled with M-Y-T-C-H. Yeah, I know.
You're like, Mitch, and Mitch. I'm like, Payne, Sanguine.
No, it's sort of like a branding thing that I did for my
I'm gonna have to do
so.
some branding because I'm like, I want like I want to do like an indie film studio called Sanguine Films,
Right.
Because like Sanguine is another synonym for bloody. And I was like, I want to do horror films, and it fits. And it's like, now I'm using it for this, and I'm like, that's
That
really,
doesn't fit.
it's really long and like hard to spell. So,
Well, thank you guys for joining us, and until next time, Excelsior! Excelsior! Or no.